and welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing my Booktube-A-Thon TBR. Booktube-A-Thon is a readathon that's happening from the 18th to the 24th of July. I will be leaving all of the links that you need in the description below. Let's have a look at the challenges. There are 7 challenges, the first of which is to read a book that has yellow on the cover. And for this challenge I am going to be reading Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. I've had a bit of like a Rainbow Rowell marathon this year, trying to get like as many Rainbow Rowell books read as possible. I think after I read this one, the only one I have to read is Fangirl, I think. So, and that was one that I was least interested in, I think, but I think I'll probably just read it now just to wrap it all up. But this is going to be my book for challenge number 1, yellow on the cover. The second challenge is one that I'm kind of apprehensive about but also kind of excited about, and that is a book that you can only read it after sunset. So I can only read it at night, and I do a fair amount of my reading in bed, but obviously it's like the summer and like the sun doesn't set until like 9:30 and I'm normally asleep by 10:30, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I might have to like try and stay up a little bit late, but for this one I am going to be reading The Giver by Lois Lowry. I've heard good things about this book. I don't really know that much about it, if I'm honest, but I've heard good things, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's also not very long, so hopefully it should be fairly easy to get through, like in quite a short, like little bits after sunset, little tiny chunks. I'm hoping that it's a do it in chunks kind of book. The next challenge is to read a book that you have discovered through YouTube, and for this one I have picked Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. So I've picked this one because obviously Sasha is a YouTuber. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description below. So this is her book that she has brought out this year, and so I thought it's pretty exciting. This is quite a short book as well, which was another reason why I chose it, but I thought it's pretty exciting. Do a challenge that's like purely YouTube. I found this because of YouTube, and it wouldn't be here if not for YouTube, I suspect. Like, I suspect that's kind of pushed her to give her the confidence to write something. So yes, this is like a YouTube-centric book for me. Challenge number 4 is to read a book by your favourite author. I actually found this one really hard to choose because I tend to like, I'm like this with music and like films and everything, I tend to like individual books, like songs, films, rather than, oh, I like this because it was written by my favourite author or written by my favourite artist or whatever. But a book that I really enjoyed and I really liked it like because of the writing style was Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I'm going to be reading this as my favourite author book. I love this trilogy, and I really wanted to read this one again particularly. I like the whole trilogy, but this I think was my favourite just because it's such a beautiful book. So I'm going to be reading this one this summer, or this readathon. Really looking forward to getting back into this world. Challenge number 5 is to read a book that's older than me, and so I have chosen Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. It's another one that I've been wanting to read for a while. It's also another one that's not very long, so yeah, it's fairly easy choice for me, I guess. I basically just looked at my bookshelf, looked at my Kindle books and said, what is older than me that I can read in like a couple of days? Frankenstein. So hopefully it's going to be fairly easy to read, so that like the language isn't going to be too like hard for me to get through, so that I can actually get it done in the time. Challenge number 6 is to read a book and watch its film adaptation. So one of my books to read this summer is Room by Emma Donoghue, and this book became a film last year, and so I am planning on reading this book and watching this film because I think it's a really interesting concept, and so I'm kind of excited about doing the both of them. This is a bit of a longer book, it's not too long, so I think it should be okay. And I've been wanting to watch more films. I feel like I've like neglected films as an option of entertainment recently, so this will be nice to sort of like do the both, and probably want to read the book first. So this is going to be like probably number 1 priority, to give me as much time as possible to read this and then watch the film as well. And the final challenge is to read 7 books. So I have got 6 books here, which means I basically get a free choice on the final book. I am going to be away for like 3 or 4 days at the end of the readathon, so I wanted a book that I would be able to take in while I am travelling, but I will be going in the car and I can't read in the car, I'm not driving, so that's not why I can't read in the car. I will be a passenger. I can't read in the car, and so I will be putting it on my headphones and listening to it with my ears. And I have chosen Holes, and I have chosen this book because one of my challenges for the year is to read a book that I haven't read since high school, and I remember reading Holes in high school and kind of enjoying it, but I didn't really enjoy reading at school. I found it very stressful reading out loud, things like that, so I could never really enjoy the books that we read at school. So I want to read it again because I know that it's a good book, and so I want to actually be able to fully appreciate it as a good book. So those are my 7 books for Booktube-A-Thon 2016. I am very excited about this. You might not be able to tell, but I am sick, and so that's kind of making everything just a little bit more grim. So I'm really excited, looking forward to this readathon. All the links that you need will be in the description below. I'll leave a link to my Goodreads page and all the Goodreads pages for all of these books, and all my social media things, so you can watch me doing all the things on the books and the stuff over on those. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!